Okay, this is a video description of the motherboard that will be shown to you in your university exam. There will be two models in our lab as shown in the picture, and will be probably as the first model, so we'll be explaining the components of the first one. Here we have the basic components of the motherboard. This is the processor, and this is the coprocessor or the north bridge. This is the south bridge, CMOS battery, and 3 IDE connectors. Each of these can connect up to 2 devices like hard disk or CD drive, and the black one is the floppy drive. We have 2 power slots. The smaller one is for the additional power supply, and the bigger one is for the main power supply. We have 3 PCI slots. The brown one was used for communication purposes in older models. Near each of these ports we have corresponding chips. There's supposed to be an AGP port around here, but this is an older model, so it doesn't have one. We turn around the motherboard, and on the side we'll find the parallel port, the pink one, a serial port, and a VGA port. The VGA port is used for graphics and game purposes. The parallel port is used for devices like printers, and the serial port is used for serial devices. The round ones here are the PS2 connectors. The green one is used for mouse, and the blue one's for keyboard. These two are the USB ports, and this right here is used for network connections. I don't know if it's an Ethernet or a modem. Here we have the audio mini jack socket. The small green thing over here is a jumper. That's how it looks. And the small white thing you have here is for connecting the processor fans and other front case devices to the motherboard. And the small white thing right here is used to connect the back panel USB ports to the motherboard. This is the SATA cable, and this is the SATA hard disk. We don't have a SATA connector in our motherboard, but this orange thing right here is what it looks like. What you see here, these two are the heat sinks, and there are 2 chips under it, and it draws away the excess heat from working of those chips. Now we'll see how to remove a processor from the socket. There is a small knob on one side of the processor. You carefully lift this knob and take out the processor. Now when you look at the processor, you see there's a small golden triangle on one corner of the processor. It's hard to see, but there is one. There is a similar triangle on one corner of the processor slot also. So you look for the triangle, and they both should come in the same corner. So you place the processor such a way, and you close the knob, of course. Now we'll see how to insert different cards to the PCI slots. This right here is a network card. It's easy to recognize because it is similar to the Ethernet or modem thing you have on the motherboard. Okay. You see there is a small notch on the network card, and there is a similar one on the PCI slot also. So it will decide how to fit it right in. Fit it outward, the vertical thing facing outward. Just press it. The next is a graphics card. The port is similar to a VGA port, so it's understood. And we can insert it the same way we inserted a network card. Now what you see here is an SDRAM. There are 2 types of RAM, SDRAM and DDRAM. You have to study the difference between both. And we have only DDRAM slots, so we cannot insert SDRAM here. If the external asks you to insert the SDRAM there, you tell her it's not possible because that's a DDRAM slot. She'll ask you. It's tricky. These are the floppy disk and hard disk cables. The thick one to the right is the hard disk cable, and the thin one with a slit to the left, that's the floppy disk cable. Now we'll see how to connect a floppy disk cable to the floppy disk IDE. You don't have to be extra careful about it. You can place it either way. There is no front side and back side and all. You can use either end of it also. It's totally fine. Now for the hard disk, you can place either end of the cable to the IDE, but you have to be careful when you place it about the orientation. You see there is a small bump on the surface of the cable, and there is a small gap in the center of the IDE, so it sits like a notch. Now we'll see how to connect the power supply to the motherboard. This is the power connector, and on the end you have a small notch right here, and you have a similar notch on the other end of the slot, and you insert it with them on the same side. Similarly, you do it for the additional power supply also. Here we have a jumper on the hard disk. It is hard to observe. This is what it looks like. We have similar jumper on the motherboard also. We showed it previously. A jumper is especially useful when you forget the password of your home BIOS. To show you how to place a jumper, and it will bypass the connection. So thank you for watching this video. All the best for your exam, and Beta rocks!